key steps. So first, it starts the same whether you are fighting in the UFC or whether you have a regular salaried job. And no matter where you are, you have to sort of just understand where you are right now. And you can start with something that I call a money to survive. So rather than thinking about a budget or any of that, like how much money do you actually need to survive on a monthly basis? And I mean, survive a moderately healthy and peaceful lifestyle. So what if you went and started renting an apartment with roaches and rats? And also not, what if you live in the most luxurious, house? There's a fine line, and you've got to be honest with yourself. But, what does it take for you to live a moderately healthy, peaceful and healthy and peaceful survival on a monthly basis? And I'm going to be putting up a easy PDF template on my website. I don't think it's not up just yet, but I'll put that up there. Or if listeners want to reach out and they listen and they hear this and they want it and it's not up on my website, I'll send it to them. But you start there. How much money do I actually need to survive on a monthly basis? Next, this is more specific for fighters. Let me plan out roughly 6 months of those months. Let me plan out 6 months of living expenses, because there's so much unpredictability in the fight game. Fighters can get sick or injured, and their opponents can get sick or injured. There's a number of things that can happen where the fight doesn't actually go through. And sometimes they don't even get fights from the UFC. There's just so many fighters on the roster that they may not get a fight when they want to. So step one, sort of take stock of where you are today, plan out living expenses for the next maybe 6 months. And once you have that taken care of, then you can start to tackle the more traditional ways of actually growing your money. So paying off terrible credit card debt and other consumer loans, whether it's no matter what it is, starting to invest in the stock market or whatever your preferred method of investing is, and actually reinvesting back in yourself to make yourself a more valuable asset so you can make more money with your time and mind.
That's very well said. And that leads me to, asking, what are some costly financial mistakes you have seen people make?
Not paying attention to your money. If you just don't really understand what money's coming in, if you don't understand where your money is going and what you should be doing with your money, that money is leaking. And not only that, but if you are not proactively deciding what to do with your money, you have no idea if you're actually using your money effectively to meet the goals that you want to meet. Because we can all sit here and say we want to have, a couple $1,000,000 by the time we retire. Actually, I hope you say that you want a couple $1,000,000 much sooner than that, because it's very possible. And in doing so, though, you have to turn it from a wish into like a actionable goal. Like, you've got to focus on it and reverse engineer what it actually takes for you to get there. And there are ways that you can use your money to actually make that happen. Again, what we were just saying, investing in yourself means paying for knowledge, paying for, and that could be experts or coaches or mentors, people that can teach you what to learn, tell you what not to focus on, and really just accelerate your process and the knowledge that you need to, we'll just say, make more money. There's skills you can pay for, courses and workshops or webinars, things that you can actually learn and practice something to get better at. Because even if you know what to do, if you can't actually execute on that, if you don't have the skills to do it, you're still going to fall short. And you can use money to pay for your time, because even if you know what to do and you have the skills to do it, some things, like, they just take time to build. And if you are constantly working, and if you don't have the energy coming home from a 9-to-5 exhausting job, and you've got kids and all this stuff, like, you're not going to take your life to the next level. And so if you can save up enough money to where you can work less or not at all for a period of time, depending on your circumstances, that will enable you to actually work on the things that you need to take your life to the next level.
That is very well said. Well said. And I definitely want to go back to something you said earlier. That kind of drew my attention. You said to basically focus on how much money you need to survive and live a very healthy, moderate life. And I find that very quite interesting, because oftentimes when you talk to financial advisors, you just read about, the tip is always, live below your means. Live as I won't say not comfortable, but you're living so low that you're not
Yeah.
healthy. Like, you're eating noodles in a cup, or has a lot of
Yeah.
soda. Like, you're missing out on certain socially that can help you grow. So I guess, what led you to come up with that, that concept, of moderate and healthy? Because oftentimes when people talk about financials, like you have to sacrifice, your health has to be a certain way, and long term that could be very drastic and very problem for the person.
Yeah, I think on some level, I just started to realize that this is a journey that even if you are, especially if you are ambitious and you have lofty financial goals and call it business goals or athletic goals, whatever they are, it takes time. Anything worthwhile that is going to be something great, it takes time to build, and it could take years to build. And unless you have someone that's literally guiding you every step of the way, which is very rare, without paying quite a lot of money to do that. And even then, no one's going to be as invested in those goals as you are. So like there's always risk involved, and you never know how long it's going to take or what steps are going to, what's going to happen. You have to be thinking about how you can actually sustain yourself while you're working towards your goals. And these, like, you can't be trying to sprint your way to success. You can't sprint your way to everything that you want to achieve and accomplish. Like, you've got to think about, how can I sustain myself in a moderately healthy and peaceful way so that I can eventually reach my goals.
As well said. And I guess that leads me to the next question. How do you personally go about investing?
Right now, I'm solely focused on investing in myself. A couple of years ago, I just started to realize more and more what that actually meant. Some of the things that we talked about, investing to acquire more knowledge, more skills, and more time. And so a couple of years ago, I started thinking, I can do a lot more with my money today in paying for books and courses and experts to teach me and learn how to make even more money today. Then that money would be, that would be more helpful to do that than just throw it in the stock market, let's say. Because even if you start, like, people are so quick to say you should be investing, like, invest early and often. And yes, I agree with that, but don't just throw everything in the stock market. Don't just throw everything into real estate. Like, learn how to make more money so you can invest more into these assets that are growing without you needing to actually participate in them. So for me, I'm investing in myself right now. Like, I'm investing in myself so I can continue to build my business in a way that I really enjoy, because I can go off, I can get a job, I can even bring on more clients in ways that I don't enjoy. Like, when I first got started, I got all my clients from just cold outreach. Like, I was reaching out to people, we were hopping on calls, and that was fine, but that was not a business that I wanted to practice for the next however many years. I wanted to put myself out there more so that people could find me and reach out to me. That's what I've been doing. That's why I've been getting out more on social media, sharing more free information and saying, hey, this is how I think. This is the information that I'm, using in my life, and it could help you if you want to use it. So all of that, though, has been investing in myself: books, courses, experts.
That's well said. And I definitely want to talk about that in detail. Because you mentioned that it's easy to tell somebody to go invest in the stock market. It's easy to tell someone to go and invest into real estate. But with all of these things, you definitely need money to start. And I'm sure you're paying attention to the news. A lot of people have invested in a lot of these different stocks, different properties. But as you read more news, and you realize that a lot of people are stuck because they have so much cash, caught up in all these different investments. A lot of these newbies, in the past, from 2020 to now, a lot of people came in, a lot of people got exposure to things that are more accessible, and as a result of that, they put their money in, listen to all these people, and now they kind of like stuck, and their account is down. These real estate properties are not doing as great as they expected. So what would you say to someone? Like, should they focus, like, is it more important to build enough capital first, then get into all these different investments, or invest as you go?
If you want great things in life, you've got to learn how to make more money. And that is not universal depending on what you're trying to achieve. Like, there could be, like, if you just want to run the fastest marathon, okay, I mean, money will help you because you can spend more money on recovery and more time so you can actually train and whatever it might be. But generally speaking, if you're ambitious and if you want financial freedom sooner than later, you have got to learn how to make more money. And it should not on your own, like through your time and skill set. That doesn't mean that you can't build a business that makes you more money, but like even building a business, it takes skills and experience, and oftentimes coaches or mentors or experts to help you in the areas that you're not familiar with. I mean, marketing for me was like, I didn't even know what that word meant a couple of years ago. And here I am trying to build a business. Like I really just had to be honest with myself and say, I don't know the first freaking thing about marketing. And so, I've bought courses, I've spoken to experts in marketing, and I've learned more about it. But yeah, you do not, yes, your money can make money for you, and that's great. But don't get so caught up in passive income before you are putting a massive, massive amount of attention on active income. You should be able to go out in the marketplace and command thousands of dollars from people because of your skills or a product that you're offering. It's just, if you want more money, you've got to focus on how you can actually become a more valuable asset yourself.